When Jill first asked me to come and speak at the For Ladies Only Toastmasters Club, oh, this must not be the right club because there's two guys in here. Okay, all right, I'll be okay after all. Okay, I'll be okay. As the man sat in the marriage counselor's office, the counselor looked at him and said, "Sir, why are you here?" He says, "Well, my wife says I don't pay enough attention to her. She says I watch too much TV, and I always have food on my shirt." And the psychologist says, "Hold it, wait a second. Wait. I'm not interested in why your wife wants you here. I'm interested in why you are here." And he said, "Can I tell her that you said that?" Many times as men, we find ourselves in that precarious position where our wife wants us to do one thing and we want to do something else. And when you've been married as long as I have, you have to figure out a way to reconcile that. There I was in my study, in front of my computer, doing what I like to do, network, YouTube, this sort of thing, when my lovely wife comes in. And the way that she came in is the way that many of you ladies have probably gone in to see your man, and many of you two men might have seen the same thing. And the words might not be the same, but the posture is similar and the attitude. As soon as I get into character to show you how she was, everybody will recognize it. And they might not actually do this, but it kind of feels like this. She comes in, and she's not smiling. She's got like a posture like this. Yep. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Everybody in the room, right? And she says something along the lines of this, though it might not be exactly this. Something like, "When are you going to get with the program, Buster?" Right? You've heard that. And of course, what she doesn't realize is that the answer is in the question, because most of us men, we don't even know that there's a program that we need to get to. So if we don't know that there's a program for us to get to, well, quite naturally, we're not with the program. And if we're not with the program, we're already in dire straits. Here I am in front of my computer. My wife comes, and now it's my turn to have that experience. I love my wife dearly, and she works very, very hard. She works nights. And she comes in, and I'm sitting at the computer, and she says to me, "The toilet is leaking, and I can't sleep." Well, I've told you I was in front of my computer, and I like doing those things. Some men like fixing things. Some men like adding rooms to houses. I'm not that kind of man. I don't have that aptitude to do those sorts of things. And she should know that after being married to me all these years, but she still says, "The toilet is leaking and I can't sleep." But she was in luck this time though, because leaky toilets was something I knew about. I knew about leaky toilets because as I was growing up, we always rented, we never bought homes, and it seemed like every single home that we moved to had a leaky toilet. And we knew how to fix it. We knew what was up with a leaky toilet. I remember how to fix a leaky toilet because whenever we had a leaky toilet, you simply walk in the bathroom confidently and you jiggle the handle. Okay? Jiggle the handle. Now, it works sometimes. In fact, it worked most of the time. But on the odd time that it didn't work, we were just as good with the second part, which was you jiggle the handle again. And you jiggle the handle as many times as it was necessary until you were convinced that it wasn't going to work. And if jiggling the handle wasn't going to work, then solution number 3 was always available, which was you just live with it until you move. Because sooner or later, you knew that you were going to move. I knew that wasn't going to work for my sweetie because jiggling the handle, I had tried that before. And so now I'm stuck trying to figure out how to work this. So I thought I'd go to YouTube, because I was in front of my computer anyway. And sure enough, there was a video on YouTube to show you how to fix a leaky toilet. But after about 20 seconds of the video, this little pop-up jumped up and says, deposit $19.95 to get the rest of the solution. Well, I didn't want to give YouTube $19.95, and I sat there and I'm fretting and I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't fight it because I know what I'm going to have to do. I've had to do it before, and I might as well get used to doing it now. Because sooner or later, I had to end up calling my next door neighbor Steve. I really didn't like to ask Steve for help, because Steve was typical of a guy named Steve. A guy named Steve, usually, he had a big tool belt that he wore. Had every tool in the world on his tool belt. He drove a pickup truck, a big pickup truck, and had wood and junk and all kinds of stuff in there. And if Steve needed to, he could build a nuclear reactor in the backyard one afternoon. That's the kind of guy that Steve was. Here Steve comes to my house, and he sat on the toilet backwards. You know how people do it, and he does it all the time. I really hate it when he did it, but he'd say, hey, Victor, come over here. So I go over there. Take a look at that. Take a look at that, Victor. And I'm looking there, and I always hated when he did that because I never saw anything. I didn't know what he was talking about. I wasn't that kind of guy. The kind of guy I was the kind of guy to have a conversation, the kind of guy to give a speech at Toastmasters, the kind of guy that danced at parties. That's the kind of guy I was. And I'm stuck trying to fix a leaky toilet. Steve eventually showed me how to fix the toilet. He actually had created a video that was on YouTube to teach people how to fix the toilet. And now I can fix the toilet. Fixing a toilet is just one of the things that I now know how to do because of my lovely wife. Because of my lovely wife, I can edge my green grass in my yard. I can do lots of things because of my lovely wife. She reminds me of my father, who used to try to get me to help him fix the car, which I never wanted to do. But the offshoot of all those things is that when you do things that you might not have been comfortable with, you end up getting a little more confident in what you were. And confidence kind of spills over in all areas of your life. So to be able to do one thing is to be able to do many things. I still look back on my catch-all solution for breaking toilets, which was jiggle the handle. Battle contest shit.